Okay, this is the next lecture by creating a checkbox data to a CJ programming. This is used where when we have multiple options. If the user want to select any one, then we put a checkbox data. Now the checkbox is used when more than one option is required to be selected to input the user. Here is an example of HTML code that detail like this, that first we form in actions, then a CGI bin and put the name of the option in here, like checkbox dot CGI. If we want to create a radio button, then put in here the like radio button, like any other things, like any other option, put in here. But you should keep in your mind that this remains same, CGI bin and dot CGI. Put the method name in here, like post. You can also use the get method. Okay, then put target input type, like a checkbox. If we have a two option, like one is math and second is like in here we should have a math, and second option we have physics. If input user want to select any one, then first put a value of math, then a physics, then a close a math and physics. Now put input type for a submit. Now close the form. Okay, let's do a practical example of this on a Python and see that how this is working. Okay, in this tutorials we do one practical examples of how we passing a checkbox to a CG programming, and go to here, that go to new and HTML files and put the name in here, that checkbox, or we passing the checkbox to a CG programming, to a CGI programming. Let's run this program, and first you can see that it automatically tell us the format of HTML file. We should delete this, and let's start our first step, which is a form in action. Also you can start it from HTML, and inside a body you can use a form actions. Otherwise as I do in my last lecture, that starting the body, starting the HTML is also not important, but form in action, that is also important. Now put Python directory here, like within double commas, that CGI, and under CGI like bin, and in this directory that we have a module related to the checkbox, like checkbox dot cgi, and I put a method in here. And now we should put a method in here, put method, and like if we want to use a get method, I want to use get methods, and I wrote this like get methods, and in this step we should put a target in here, that target should be that target should be blank with the underscore, and this is a blank, which is already in this directory. And in the next lecture, and okay, next step, sorry, in the next step we use an input type, and we use an input type, and give a value like checkbox, like checkbox here, and checkbox name should be contain math first. Math is a value, having like value, and now the value is on, the value is on, and now close the math. Now I close the math, sorry, close the math like this, close the math. In the next step, just copy it and paste like here and produce. This is a math, and now this is a chemistry, and put in here also the chemistry option, and again paste it for a third subject with this physics, and I close physics here, and you should physics in here. Okay, and now the put a submit value in here, like input, is submit first, as we did in the last step, that submit is value, and again, so again this, put the option of the subject, select a subject, because in this option we can select a subject, and now close this, and in the last we should close a form, close a form in here, and okay, you can see that in here that we not use closing here. Okay, let go to any browser and click this, and see that the system produce like this. This is on, and that this is a math subject is also on, and chemistry and physics, and select one option in here, that select a subject related on math, related to physics. Okay, now this is the lecture that how we can passing the drop down box data to a CGI programming. Basically, the drop down box is used when we have many options available, but only one or two will be selected. Here I explain here the example of HTML code for a form with one drop down box. First of all, we starting the form like this. First, the form action is in the start. Then in the last lecture I told you that CGI.then, this is a very important and usual compulsory to introduce this bin, which contain a CGI module of different data. Put the data name in here, like drop down, like checkbox, like any other radio option, put in here .py. You can also introduce this. Put the method name here, and we want to use the post method, we put here post method, otherwise put a get method in here also, and put the target is that this should be contain a blank. Put the select name like a drop downs, and option values like a math, like a physics, and then close these math and physics option, because first we started the option values, then also it close the option values like this. This is close. You can see that this is start. Now select close the select, and input type submit values, start and close, and the form is closed because the form in action started earlier in first step. Okay, let's do a practical example and produce a drop down box by using these two, like math and physics. Let's do a practical example. Okay, in the last lecture we create a checkbox that HTML to CG programming. But in this tutorial, we can do a practical example that how we put the option of drop downs to HTML in CGI programmings. Okay, that you have. You can see that in here, so we put a checkbox, and only for in drop down we also change in here that this is our first step. Form in action that cgi.ben, which is a Python directory, and put an option module like drop downs like this. Put name of the methods like post and or target. And now in the second step, put a module like drop downs, and I put values relating to as a subject. If one is a math and the second is a physics, and now the select is a close. As we select in a second step, you can see that if we select this, that the system automatically show that this system started in here and close in here step. And then the final step is submit values. Then I write this example and write this and close a form in actions. Okay, let's go to Chromes and click here on the Chromes that, and you can see that it gave me a values for drop downs. Like in here you can see that if I click here, then it automatically go to like physics. And if we want to again change the value for more subject, if we want to write like this copy and this paste and this paste, and for this paste, if I used other values like change here like bio, and a close a bio like biology. And the next step, if I want to another subject which is just Urdu, and close the Urdu and close the Urdu. And for the next is also physics, so I change into like poetry, and close the poetry like poetry. You can see that options start here, and within the option that I have a different values, different subject inside the option, and not input in here. But one thing you should keep in your mind that I not wrote input in here. Put option values, not input values. If I again run this program, then you can see that the system, if I want to click this, then these give me like more subjects for a select, and now for the submit.